Greetings, fellow Gorehounds, and welcome back to another Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And we just got done watching The Babysitter. Not to be confused with the John Leguizamo movie, The Babysitters. This movie's just called The Babysitter.
Yeah.
And it's about a kid who finds out that his babysitter is part of a satanic cult, and oh shit, they want to kill him. That's the movie in a nutshell.
That's the movie. And unlike the John Leguizamo one, you don't want to kill everybody because you're watching it.
That's fair enough.
I love John Leguizamo, but his vehicles are shit.
Yeah. That movie's not bad, but it's an uncomfortable movie.
Yeah.
Because the other Babysitter movie is about a bunch of high school girls who form their own prostitution ring through babysitting. It's not comfortable to watch, and it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Whereas this movie is really fun.
Yeah.
This movie is a pure horror comedy done with a bit... It's like mixing some of like the over-the-topness of exploitation movies, but with the funness of like 80s movies.
Yeah, it's kind of like a combination of like The Gate and Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Yeah, with a little bit of Home Alone.
Yeah.
With a little bit of Home Alone, but like R-rated Home Alone.
Yeah, it reminded me, it'd make a great double feature with Scout's Guide to Zombie Apocalypse.
Yes, that was actually a good comparison to the movie. It's very similar in terms of its humor with that movie. It's also very, very much little boy humor.
Oh, very much so,
for a huge chunk of it. And, you know, what surprises me the most about this movie is I didn't realize until the credits, but this is apparently a McG movie, which I can't remember any McG movie I liked. Except for this one.
Yeah, this is the best McG movie that's ever existed yet.
Yes.
And like, what were the other ones?
Charlie's Angels 1 and
2.
The fucking Terminator Salvation, which is my least favorite Terminator movie. I know a lot of people hate Genesis, but Salvation's worse to me.
Oh god, yeah.
Like Salvation's Oh god.
Genesis is at least like watchable.
I think he did the Duff. Which
oh my god! Yeah. Oh,
it's the Duff. Like McG's filmography is very
bad.
I mean, his television works a little better. Like he was one of the producers on Supernatural, and I love that show.
Yeah, true.
At least in the first few seasons, I have no idea if he lasted long on the show.
Well, the first few seasons are really good.
Yes.
So.
But outside of that, not a McG fan, but I'm a huge fan of this movie. Having seen it,
this
movie is a whole lot of fun.
This is the one that like he made that you're like, all right, man, now you're a director. Now you're a film director.
I feel like this kind of narrowed in on what he's actually good at.
Yes.
If he doesn't try to do anything too big, if he keeps it contained and he allows himself to turn everything to 11, and he allows himself to do that while still keeping the heart and not a lot of cynicism, then it works.
Yeah, it's a strangely earnest movie.
It is. Even though everything's so over the top, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But like, oh man, I don't even know where to start or where to begin.
Oh my god. like everything feels like spoilers, but I mean, the basic setup is, here's a kid, he's fucking afraid of anything. His dad is like a NASCAR driver, but like, he's afraid to drive a car.
Is his dad a NASCAR driver? I got the impression that his dad had some sort of office job, and his neighbor wishes he was a NASCAR driver.
Oh, yeah, something like that. But his dad has access to a racetrack.
Yeah.
So he has something to do
There's some
with
sort of
racing,
connection. Yeah, I might have missed whatever his dad did. He might be right.
Yeah.
But, like, obviously his mom and dad they don't come across like bad parents.
No.
They come across like they're really loving parents that are just maybe a little too overprotective sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And they're overprotective in a very, like, kind of subtle way, which is, are you sure you want to be doing that?
But, there's a whole lot of second guessing.
Yeah, a lot of second guessing, and that's like, well,
you can tell they're trying their best. It's like that, like, oh no, like, don't overexert yourself. You might get a heart attack. You might have an asthma attack. You might have this or whatever. Oh, by the way, you're the man of the house now. And it's just like, they're like trying, but they're like,
but they're not quite getting it, because like they themselves are very kind of
neurotic.
They're really neurotic, but at the same time they don't give a fuck.
They're also well put together.
Yeah,
like the mom going into like the crawl space underneath the house with all the spiders and having no fucks to give about the spiders.
Yeah,
like she's no neuroses there, but their kid's a neurotic mess.
Yeah, because basically the part of their life that is like they're worried about is him.
Yeah,
and that is transferred onto him, and now he's like a fucking nervous wreck.
Absolutely. So this whole movie is basically like the whole meta story of it is him essentially learning to be an adult, to be a man, to fend for himself, to not need a babysitter anymore.
Yeah.
And one of his big role models in this movie is actually the babysitter, who actually saves him from a bully really early on in the movie, and is basically like showing him all these awesome movies about guys who kick ass and stuff like that, and is like teaching him how to dance and teaching him how to talk to girls and doing all this stuff. And she's really awesome. There's only one problem. It turns out she works for the devil. It turns out she's a Satanist in the bad way. The human sacrifice way.
In the movie way.
In the movie way.
And she's got to sacrifice this kid. Although it's really weird. It's kind of getting into spoilers, though.
We're going to get into spoilers soon. Yeah. We're going to get into spoilers soon. But I don't think it's spoilers to say that she's the human sacrifice type, because it's the whole plot.
Yeah, it's the plot movie,
it's the whole plot. But, yeah, and, he ends up having to go on the run from his babysitter and her group of really hot friends.
Yep.
Who are all part of the cult. And what I like about this movie is this is a movie where I kind of liked every character, even the assholes.
Yeah, even the villains were really good.
You know, like the one jockish, cult guy. Like, I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna be really annoying or whatever. But as the movie went on, he became one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Just from the shit he was doing and how crazy he got.
Well, yeah, he reminded me a lot of the Guest.
Oh, yeah. I can see that. Yeah, very similar, except a little bit more loud.
Yeah, a little bit more teenage high school macho.
Yeah. And there was this like annoying cheerleader, like Valley Girl character who I thought was gonna be really annoying until she has this one scene where she's crying about her boobs, and I was just laughing my ass off the whole time. Who's gonna want to motorboat these? I'm just like, okay, I now like this character.
Yeah.
The black one, who's obviously like there to fill the racial quota. Like, I thought he was just gonna be like annoying, like loud black guy, and he was.
Yeah.
But he was hilarious.
Yeah. Well, so the whole idea of just having him there was to just be the token black guy.
Yes, and they kind of played on that
idea. Yeah,
and they really played on that, and they played on it in a really great way.
They did, yeah.
And I really liked that character, like all the characters, like even the school bullies. I thought were entertaining.
Yes.
You know, there's like these school bullies that like get on him, and they have like this whole like back and forth conversation where he kind of outwits them, but they're big and strong, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And like I was still entertained by them even in that instance. So this is a movie where even all the characters you're supposed to hate, you do kind of like on some weird level, and I kind of think that's what makes the movie work.
It is what makes the movie work. You know, about the only one that you have a really bad impression of is the main character's best friend's dad.
Yes. He's the only one that's pretty just
complete
that guy could die in a fire.
Yeah.
You know, and he didn't really do anything wrong except just be a douchebag. Like at the beginning of the movie when he doesn't give the kid a ride even though they live right across the street from one another. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, come on, dude. Come on. Like, I would at least give him some excuse if it was like, oh, I don't want him near my daughter because I don't want my daughter to get, like, you know, cooties or whatever. At least then I would understand where he's coming from. But he was just doing it to be a douche.
Yeah.
There was no motivation there.
Douchery. Yeah.
You know. All right, so I guess it's about time to get to the spoilers. So before we get to the spoilers, The Babysitter is currently available on Netflix. I think it's a Netflix original movie because it has the thing on top of it on Netflix. I did not hear about this movie beforehand. But I'm glad that like a bunch of fans recommended it to me because it's fucking awesome. Yeah. I love it. I highly recommend it. So go watch it if you haven't watched it yet. And for those of you who have watched it or are not yet sold on it, here are the spoilers. All right. So where do we begin with the spoilers?
I have no idea. Let's just dive in. Okay, so one of the things they fucking. The idea is that the kid wants to see what the teenagers do when he's asleep.
His best friend, who is obviously the girl who's totally into him, but he's too stupid to see it. Because
or too scared.
Too scared. Or too scared. One or two. But I think there's a little bit of like he was kind of surprised she was into him. But like he either way, he is not pursuing his best friend, even though his best friend is totally like, I would totally jump on you right now if you just let me.
Yeah. Do you want to get there? Yeah, but they're like I think they're like freshmen.
So
they're like really young.
They're established as 12 and their bullies are like
14.
Yeah, 14. So their bullies just became freshmen, so they just reached out of middle school where they're still in middle school.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
So they're basically reaching that puberty stage where it's time to start pursuing guys.
Yeah. Where you're just old enough to like.
Mm-hmm.
Just old enough to like get handsy and heavy petting,
and you can tell
like
that the main character is a little bit behind of everyone else on this just because he's such a nervous wreck.
Yeah.
So it's that whole thing where social awkwardness kind of stops you from pursuing these things, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So his best friend is basically just like, so what do they do after you go to sleep? I bet they have sex. I bet they I bet she's bringing home all these boys and sleeping with them while you're asleep, and you should find out. And
like she kind of wants him to go watch and
but
tell her all about it.
I love their flirting because it felt very real to me, that whole like calling him a perv every time he's like, I'm gonna go look, even though she kind of wants him to look.
That felt very natural.
It was
real.
That felt genuine and earnest.
Yeah.
That felt like, oh, I can see that kind of exchange between me and any of my old girlfriends.
Yeah.
You know, like that feels real. And so basically he decides, oh, I am not going to take the sleeping pills. I'm not going to go to bed. I am going to stay up and I'm going to watch my babysitter after hours. And what he stumbles across is, at first, seems just like a simple game of spin the bottle, but it's actually a truth or dare.
Yeah.
It's spin the bottle combined with truth or dare. Go figure.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
But it quickly turns sour when it turns out that it's that one of the people being dared is about to be sacrificed, and he witnesses it.
Yeah.
And it's the one that's part of the teenage group that's the most like him. So,
yeah, exactly.
You know, it's obviously him in a few years if he doesn't change.
Exactly. You know, and they stab the guy in the fucking head.
In the head. He
drain him out like a fucking beer tap.
Yeah. And god, that scene's hilarious. When the black dude character is like tapping the head, it's like, I think I'm all tapped out. I think it's all out, and then just sprays in his face like, come on, man.
The running joke is that blood keeps spraying in his face. Yeah, like
that leads into one of my favorite jokes in the whole movie. Is, hey man, 1 out of 4 people have AIDS. 2 people sprayed me in the face. Do the math. I have AIDS, man. He is so that like Chris Tucker kind of stereotype, but he really works in this movie.
Oh yeah, he does.
I love this. I love that guy so much.
Yeah. So they then have to get the kid's blood.
Yeah, because they need the blood of a sacrifice, which was the person they killed, the nerd they killed, and they needed the blood of the innocents, which is the kid, the main character in the movie. They need his blood. They need to combine them together, and I guess they need to drip it onto the magic Necronomicon book they're using.
Yeah, you drip it on the book and you make a wish.
And apparently whatever you desire is what you get. And this is established later on in the movie as being why the babysitter is so cool and confident and sexy, because she wished for it before.
Yeah, she's done this before. She's done this a few times.
Exactly. And obviously all these people have their own desires. We only kind of learn about a couple of them. One of them wants a rap career, which is the black guy. One of them wants to become a journalist. And I don't know about the other two. I don't know if the other two established.
Well, they established that the jock guy just loves killing people.
He just came to kill people, so he's in it for the kill.
Yeah. And the thing I liked about that character is he essentially turns into Roy Batty by the end of it.
Oh, God, he's great.
You know, like he's...
Oh, God, well, the point where he went from being a character that I thought was going to be, he's the annoying jock guy. The point when he turned, there's 2 moments. There's one where the cops arrive, and he just immediately skewers one in the eye, and you're like, oh, shit, he's crazy.
Yeah.
And the second moment is when he's chasing the kid. He's chasing the kid down. He's got him dead to rights. But then he sees the bullies from earlier in the movie, and they're egging the kid's house. And he's just like, are you going to let those kids do that, man? You got to stand up for yourself, man. You can't let these kids walk all over you like that. You're going to go over there, and you're going to kick their ass. And so he tells the kid to go kick the bully's ass before he goes to kill the kid. And it's just like, what just happened? But it also just kind of feeds into how kind of crazy he is. But and the moment where he's about to like kill him, where he's about to kill the kid, he's like, today you die a man. He's like, oh man. Obviously he doesn't succeed. The kid totally fucking finds a way out of it.
Kid makes it.
There's a lot of dynamite at the foot of the bed in this movie, or Chekhov's gun, if you will. At the beginning of the movie, they establish a knife in a sink. They establish that there is a treehouse that is currently being taken down because it's a little flimsy.
They establish a fucking douchemobile,
which the neighbor has, which is basically a muscle car, like a 70s muscle car.
Yeah.
They also establish that there is a bunch of toys in the hallway that the kid has not picked up.
Yep.
All these things come back. He kills one of the characters by pushing them when they trip over the toys in the hallway. There's a point where he ends up fighting a character who takes the knife,
Yeah.
And the jock guy he ends up killing because they end up having their final confrontation in the treehouse, which is very flimsy as established.
Yeah, that's why they're tearing it down. And the thing that's really cool about it is that this movie is set up like a classic farce.
Yes.
It's a classic farce. Everything that there's a whole lot of like, I better not put this fucking thing right over here.
And also there's a lot of really good tension. Like there's a moment where the main babysitter she's got a shotgun and she's chasing them through the house, and he's like hiding behind like corners and shit like that while she's walking by, and like a vase tips over. And like he like goes and catches it before it lands, and it happens like 2 times. And like I was like,
that was really well done.
I was surprised at how on edge I was when it happened, because it like started to fall the second time, and I gasped. And I was just like, oh man, the movie actually affected me. I'm actually my heart's beating a little bit. Like,
yeah. You actually like feeling it.
I'm invested. So like despite the movie being really over the top, really comedic, and really ridiculous, like it actually had good tension.
Yeah, it was really well done. It was really really well made. It was really funny. It was really funny. It was gross.
Oh God, it was super gross. It's super bloody. Super bloody. There's no nudity.
Yeah,
I think it's the one thing it lacks, but there's a whole lot of side boob, for lack of a better way of putting it. But it's bloody as all fuck. Like I said, there's like a run-on gag with a character just getting blood splattered in his face.
Yeah. Funny enough, I think this is a movie where if they had gone like full bore with nudity, it would have distracted from.
Well, I don't think it's necessary, because you're dealing with a kid who's just hit puberty.
Yeah.
If he was actually like 16 or something, I think nudity would be fine. But because he's 12,
exactly.
It feels like just having the side boob and that being the thing that he's like constantly looking at.
Yeah, like, just looking at like a black bra through a white t-shirt.
Exactly. It's like I feel like that's more appropriate given the story.
Yeah, exactly. Like if they had been even as old as the
if this was a slasher movie, I'd be like, where's the tits? But
exactly,
it's not that kind of movie.
Yeah, so basically there was no nudity, and it doesn't ruin the film. I didn't even notice it, and that's a big deal with me. So.
I do love the kind of relationship they build between him and the babysitter.
Oh, it's really good.
Because even though the babysitter is the bad guy, you can tell there's a part of her that still kind of cares about him.
Yeah.
And there's a part of him that clearly cares about her more than just a babysitter.
Yeah.
But she's too old.
Yeah.
And I love that they play with that, and I love that they don't shy away from it.
No, they didn't.
Because he ultimately he does have to learn that, like, oh no, like, she is wrong for me. She is too old. She is crazy. And this girl across the street that I've been ignoring this whole time, hey.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one I should be with.
Absolutely.
And the relationship between him and that girl is so fucking adorable.
Even though it only has like a couple scenes, it's actually pretty well developed.
It is,
the relationship between the two of them, and it's really cute.
Yeah.
Like there's a moment where they kiss, and I'm just like, oh,
yeah,
my heart's aflutter for young love, And I love that they don't like stop the movie and like stop all like the hilarious comedy too, because there's like a great line afterwards, like, next time we should make out, and I'm just like,
yeah. Well, I also noticed they didn't do a music cue when the main character and the little girl kissed.
I think it was a score cue. I don't think it was like a music.
Yeah. Because any time like the hot chick kisses someone or does something slightly sexy,
I want candy.
Yeah, like I want candy, or like there was a time when you could have, or you could have replaced it with the classic like your love is like bad medicine.
Well, that's actually the part of the movie that reminded me the most of Scout's Guide, was all the music jokes.
Yes.
Where they would have like a very funny music cue happening at a very exaggerated time. Like at the end of the movie when We Are the Champions.
We Are the Champions.
When he's running to the douche car to run over the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's great. That's fucking awesome. By the way, the noises you're all hearing right now, our landlord upstairs is putting a couch upstairs, so that's what you're hearing.
Yeah. If you could hear that, that's what it is. Yeah, I really fucking loved this movie. It was really fun.
Good. This was just like nice escapist, just sit down. and enjoy the movie
Yeah.
time. And it's nice because like we live in an age right now where everything feels like it's falling apart. So it's nice to just sit down and watch something that
it's a type of movie we're making more that we used to make all the time, but we're making a little bit more of now that we hadn't made in a long time, which is the kind of low budget, high concept, pure entertainment film.
Absolutely, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Also, what I also love about it, like I said, it's a weird combination of 70s and 80s like nostalgia combined together, but in this really interesting way.
Yeah.
Because it's as over the top as any of the 70s exploitation films, but it's got that like earnest charm of the 80s films.
Yeah, of like a Joe Dante movie or something like that.
Yeah, it felt like a Joe Dante, like a bloodier Joe Dante movie.
Yeah. The minute it was funny, because there's a scene at one point where the kid has a fucking rocket launcher.
Yes.
And I mean like a firecracker rocket launcher. And I'm like, oh, someone likes the gate.
Yes.
Yeah,
Someone really likes the gate. Absolutely. So yeah, The Babysitter, I give that like 2 thumbs up. Highly recommend it. As per usual, my fellow gorehounds, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And don't forget to check out Count Jackula's channel over here on YouTube. Count_Jackula?
Count_Jackula. Just put in Count Jackula, you'll find it.
All right, you'll find Count Jackula. And you can find both of us on Twitch, as we've been doing a lot of streaming lately. The Horror Guru on Twitch, Count_Jackula on Twitch. And with all that said, my fellow gorehounds, peace out, and I'll catch y'all later.